Hello, Croiso, back to the cymrunerdcave. How are you doing? It's good to see you. All of you. Yes, even you. It's good to see you in these weird, interesting times that we're living in. But enough of that. We're not here for that. We are here for the Roberts. Like him. Like them. And especially them. Because we're talking today about Beast Wars. Because Beast Wars is a thing now, again, which I'm very happy to see. Because, quite frankly, I wasn't really there for the first time around. Very, very brief story time. Back in 1998 when Beast Wars, I think it was 96 they came out first, but I became properly aware of them in 1998 when I was working for Argos, and I saw them on the shelves because you didn't see them on television over here. In America and in Canada you did, I think in 96 probably, see them on television, but in Britain they came very late. They came 88, 98, 99, and they only really, as far as I'm aware, were on one channel, which was GMTV, which was morning breakfast television. And what they used to do, and it's a tactic I hated them doing, and I still hate to this day, they would split up the cartoon. So they had one episode, but have part one at one time, part two at another time during the program, basically just to keep you watching, because you wanted to see the second part, because of course you did. You'd have some git come on. It was Mr. Motivator. For those who know, that git was usually Mr. Motivator would come on the television and go, oh yeah, Beast Wars episode is starting. So you'd have like 10 minutes of Beast Wars, and then he would end, and then he would say, come back at sometime today. They would never tell you. They would never say which what time they were coming back on. I hated that so much. Sidebar, that totally soured Jerry Anderson on television ever again, because when he brought out the new Captain Scarlet, that's what they did on Ministry of Mayhem. Now, he was told that it would be primetime television, but what they did was put it on a kids TV program on a Saturday morning and did exactly that. 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, wouldn't tell you when it was, so nobody watched. Frankly, nobody cared. And that's basically what happened with Beast Wars. Nobody really cared. The cartoon was there, some people would see it, most people wouldn't, because it was like 8 o'clock in the morning, and even kids in 1998 weren't up at 8 o'clock in the morning. They'd quickly gotten wise to the fact that, you know, you weren't going to be up at that time. So that died a death. And like I say, I missed that completely. Absolutely missed it. They showed it another time, but again, couldn't tell you when, couldn't tell you what channel it was on. I think Channel 5 might have shown it at some point. Correct me if I'm wrong, feel free. I could be completely wrong. But anyway, 1998 was when I first saw them in Argos, and I bought a few. I was sort of at first a bit weary of them, because it's like, right, Kenner for a kick-off. Kenner don't make Transformers, Hasbro do. Wasn't really aware of the, you know, ins and outs of toy buying companies, toy companies buying each other out, should I say. So I wasn't really aware of that. So I bought them. I saw the names Optimus Primal and Megatron and thought, that's interesting. Are these the same guys? Are these not the same guys? If I'd had a fiction I could watch, I would have known they were not the same guys, but who knew? I mean, I think the plan was obviously to make them the same guys, but that soon went out of the window. I bought 4 originally. I bought Cheetor, I bought Airraiser, I bought Bone Crusher, the bison dude, and Insecticon, the blue and green beetle, and they were awesome and I loved them. There was another one, the praying mantis one, and I forget what they're called because it's been a while. I tell you something though, I didn't buy any more of them. The one because Argos soon sold out and didn't restock for whatever reason. I'm guessing people just didn't want them. For another one, there were no geek shops in York that were really worth going to. There was a comic book shop, but they were really full of comic book guys, and I wasn't at that time a comic book guy. Not really. And indeed, those places are intimidating. You know, even for a guy who was into geeky stuff, they were intimidating to go into because you needed to know your stuff. You didn't know your stuff, they kind of did look down on you. I'm glad that's something that seems to have changed a little bit. I haven't been in a comic book store in a little while, so I obviously, I don't know how it is now. Hopefully better than it was 25 years ago, but there you go. One more geek shop in York, and it wasn't very good. It was more like Blue Banana, that kind of place, than anything. And it was York. You just didn't get many toys, and Toys R Us basically didn't really do them. So I missed it the first time around. But I liked the cartoon because later on, 3 years later in 2001, Woolworths had a VHS double set, box set, of basically the first half of the first series. And I sat down one Friday night, I finished work, bought it, took it home, and I thought I'll watch a couple of episodes. This is like 8 o'clock at night. I'll watch a couple of episodes and then we'll see where we go from there. Well, I watched everyone, and I was like sort of 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning by the time I finished with that. So yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Got a few more of the toys. Got the Optimal Optimus. I got the Cryotech as well. That was from Robots in Disguise rather than that, but it was Beast Wars Megatron. And then Beast Machines came out. Watched the entirety of that on Fox Kids, but again, not many of the toys ever came out, and the ones that did were peripheral ones in sort of discount stores and that kind of thing. So it's safe to say I missed most of it. And then Hasbro announced that they were doing the thing called Kingdom, and they had Beast Wars toys coming out for the first time in what, 20 odd years. And I was like, I think I'll pass. As much as I like them, I think I'll pass. We'll see what happens. And then Very got Optimus Primal and Cheetor in, and I thought I might take a risk, and I bought them, and I liked them, and I will review them at some point, but not right now. And then I thought I'll get Megatron, because he's my favourite Megatron, right? Let's just say that. He's my favourite version of Megatron. He's my favourite character in Beast Wars. I think, yes, I wanted a Megatron. And, I mean, just to pick him up and have a version of Megatron in my hands. Look at how cool he is. He is very cool. And I thought, yeah, this guy's pretty awesome. And then I got paid, and then I went on the Smiths website, and then I did a bad thing, because I thought, do you know what, I want Rattrap part of the Maximal group. Let's get Rattrap. So we got Rattrap. So Rattrap's here. He looks okay. And then I thought, you can't really have Rattrap without having his sort of, not counterpart, but his buddy, his odd couple member. So I got Dynabot. And I got Dynabot. And then I thought, do you know what, another one I've seen and I've never owned, but again one of my favourite characters in Beast Wars is Black Arachnia. And then I got Black Arachnia. So yeah, I have these three now. And I'm going to open them up in a minute, and I'm going to have a look at them. And you're going to see, I'm not going to review them, this video is long enough already, but I am going to open them up, and I am going to tell you what I think of them, because, yeah, this has been a long time coming, and like I say, these are really cool characters that I like a lot, and have a bit of a connection to. So, without any further ado, I'm going to open these, and I'll come back to you, and I'll let you know what I think. Hello again, everybody. Yeah, been a little while for me. For you, it's been like a second. For me, it's been a couple of minutes at least. I've opened them. They're a bit good. They're a bit good. Yeah. Well, we'll start off with Rattrap in robot mode first. And oh, come on now. That is Rattrap, is it not? Come on now. He looks pretty cool. He's tiny. Small but perfectly formed. I quite like the fact that he's tiny, because he was in the show. He was always supposed to be tiny but gobby. And I really like that. Yeah, just to give you an idea, here's Cheetor. Another cracking figure, by the way. There's Cheetor. And there is Rattrap. Whoops. Next to Cheetor. That made that harder than I should have done. So there's old Rattrap next to Cheetor. Looking good. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I haven't transformed into ratty mode yet, but I will in a minute. And yeah, it's looking good. Let's put it that way. He's got his little demolition charge arms where he can brew his bombs and store stuff. Obviously you can't in this version. You can with the Generations version. I do have that and it's very good. We'll be keeping that on. But yeah, and obviously the bonds is pretty accurate. We're all gonna die. Yeah, love Rattrap. That's got bags of personality in that figure. Really nice, because I've really wanted a Rattrap that sort of... The Generations one is fine, but it's way too complicated to transform. And that's always been my bugbear with it. We'll get back to that kind of thing in a bit. Next up, Black Arachnia. I've never owned Black Arachnia. I think I owned the animated one a little while back, but that doesn't really count. That's not the same thing. I have never owned this version of Black Arachnia. Oh my word, am I glad I do now. Blimey, she is so good. Again, filled with personality, absolutely chock full of it. That is, I mean, you look at that face, that is the face of Black Arachnia from Beast Wars. She's even got the spider detail on her chassis, shall we say. And she just looks great. And she's got the Beast Wars feet as well. One of the things that's always bugged me about them trying to do Beast Wars that isn't Beast Wars is they always try and fudge the feet and make them not look like Beast Wars feet did. And the whole point of it is that that's how they're supposed to look. They're a different aesthetic than G1. Don't try to fit them in, because they've always done that. The Universe Dynabot and the Universe Cheetor, they suffered from that, and they weren't very good toys because of that. Because they espoused everything that was good about Beast Wars and the transformations. They are quirky, they are weird. It's supposed to be quirky and weird. That's how they roll. But no, really, really good. She even got a little gun there. She's got... the spider legs in full view, but that's fine because they're supposed to be like that, because if you turn them around then they become guns. Basically they become machine guns like they do in the show. So she turns them around and then fires them all off, and that's machine guns basically. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. The only thing wrong with her is the top of her bonds, the red bit, which is supposed to be an hourglass. Do that. It's supposed to be an hourglass Black Widow shape. Isn't. It's a bit smudged, so I might have to try and fix that. I'm no painter, so I don't know how that's going to go. But yeah, very nice. And she's stable. She stands perfectly well, but I'll show that in another video. The last one then that I've got today. I've got more on the way. So we'll see. The last one today is my second favourite character in all of Beast Wars. Megatron's first, the second is definitely the loser. Dynabot, who obviously defects to the Maximals and causes a stir and all that good stuff. And oh my word. Right, so I bought in 2008, 2009 I think it was, 2009, let's say. The Dynabot that they brought out, the Generations Dynabot, and oh my gosh, did he suck. He just didn't look like Dynabot as far as I was concerned. I mean, he was okay, but no, just not for me. This guy is straight from the show. He just looks fantastic. Like I say, this is no way a review. This is just a first impression, but he just looks exactly the same. Look at the face. It's the right colour. It's the right look on his face. That sourpuss. I shall kill you all, and then give you a Shakespearean quote. I can't do voices, sorry, I do apologise. But yeah, that's Dynabot. That looks exactly like him. He's also got his weird tail shield that he came with and his sword that you could put in there. But in this version, instead of putting it in his hand like that and it looking a bit weird, he's got a nice hexapeg or hexa hole and a peg. Look there, and all you do, pop that in there, and he's holding his sword properly, like he would, like a ninja would. He can close his hands around it and everything. Look how cool that looks. Yeah, that'll do. That's good. I like it. Like I say, this is not an in-depth look, but first impression, really like it. You should get this toy if you can. Well, that's it for robot modes. What I'm going to do, I'm going to transform him into beast mode, and we shall see what happens after that. Bye for now. And we're back, and I'm definitely feeling the Beast Wars love. These are 3 really good toys. Transformations can be a bit on the faffy side, especially Black Arachnia. Even Rattrap has his moments, but certainly not as bad as the Generations version. But let's have a quick look at Rattrap there. So yeah, I mean, that is definitely a rat. That's definitely looking like Rattrap. Maybe a little bit cuter than he was in the show. Maybe, but yeah, certainly a damn good beast mode there. I'm really liking that. Don't think there's anywhere to store his gun. I'm probably wrong about that, and he could probably store it under there somewhere. Probably. I haven't looked properly yet, so you know, I will admit, I know you can store it at the side. It definitely goes on at the side, but I don't. That misses the point somewhat, surely. But anyway, really good version of Rattrap there. Liking that a lot. Small, but he's a rat. But then you could say that about the next one, Black Arachnia, who is, yeah, I mean, that is Black Arachnia, isn't it? What a good representation of that character. Absolutely loving that. It is a bit of a faff to get her all under there, because basically all her legs and everything are in the thorax there. Which does have a good representation of a Black Widow. I mean, it's not perfect, obviously, because, you know, there we are. It's not real world. It's fantasy. But everything is held in there by her gun, which I really like that, because it makes the gun useful in that mode. But her legs are pretty stable. She's not flapping around at all if you do that. So she's not just going to fall over. One of the bad things about the old Beast Wars toys is that sometimes these joints here, they did come loose, never mind get loose, they used to come loose, and you couldn't stand up. Tarantulas was especially spindly and horrible. Saying that, I hope we do get a version of Tarantulas. That would be really cool. I just basically want all the Predacons at this point, but yeah, Black Arachnia, very cool, loving that. Of course, the piece de resistance is the big dinosaur himself, Dynabot, and yeah, I mean, that is the best representation I think we've had of him in the modern era. Obviously the Beast era one is really good. He was redone, retooled quite a few times, but this, I mean, this knocks spots off the other one, the Generations. Absolutely 100% way better. This is a fucking marvellous toy, frankly, and it looks like a raptor. It looks like Jurassic Park, which is what he's meant to. And yeah, don't come at me saying they're not real, blah blah blah. I know they're not what Velociraptors look like, but this is what I have in my head as Jurassic Park Velociraptor look like, and that's what this looks like. And he looks fantastic. I cannot wait to get some photographs taken of these guys and then start putting them up everywhere and going, look at these! Aren't these the best Transformers you've ever seen? Yeah, Kingdom's a hit with me, and I've got more coming. Oh, and there's more coming in September. You've got like Rhinox coming and Scorponok. I'm hoping there's more coming next year as well. Like I say, I really do want them to fill out this line and just do all the Beast Wars. I could quite happily not do any of the more Transformers and just buy Beast Wars ones. So yeah, a little bit in love with this guy in both modes. Really cool. Like I say, I will do proper reviews at some point, Lord knows when, but I'll get to it. But that's just a little look into the world of Beast Wars and why I love it so much. People, please do take care of yourselves and each other. We're winning in you know, a lot of parts of the world these days. We are actually winning. We're getting our jabs. The rates are coming down. Let's keep it up. Let's keep going, and then we can all meet up and we can get together and we can talk about how great Beast Wars is and how great Kingdom is at the moment and how much money I'm spending on Transformers when I said I wasn't going to anymore. Bloody Hasbro. I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.